This is the Cooking Today Show. I'm Allan Gilbreth, and I'm here today with my partner in culinary crime, Mr. Brandon Olmsted. How are you, sir?
I am excellent today.
Awesome.
I see the equipment.
Is this not the greatest of all days? It is. This is happiness.
It's Waffle Day.
It's Waffle Day.
It's a good thing I'm stuck behind glass. Otherwise, all of this would be devoured and gone.
Well, you know.
Well, that's what
the glass is for their protection.
It is. It is. And we cannot forget our infamous Claire looking at us really evilly through the glass right now.
No. Don't worry. We will not eat waffles without you.
We promise. You can also join us at thecookingshowtoday.com. And like we said, today's topics, waffles, pancakes, and crepes.
See, you keep throwing in that crepes thing. I am no good when it comes to crepes.
You know what? By the end of this show, everybody will be good at crepes.
You're going to teach us all how to make crepes.
I'm gonna give you the secrets.
Okay.
But today we're gonna start with waffles.
That's because waffle irons are easy.
Well, you know, all right. So, all right, we have a brand new out of the box waffle iron.
Yes.
And all I have to say is that, you know, for those of you listening, especially if you're my age and you haven't bought a waffle iron in, 20 years, really, it's time to go revisit. These things are slick.
Well, I mean, it was an easy choice. I walked into our local big box store because I had to do other shopping. Local big box store because I had to do other shopping. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, it's like, I've got a waffle iron at home, but when I'm headed up to the studio, the last thing I'm going to think about is, oh, don't forget, get into the cabinet, get the waffle iron. So I was like, we need one for the show.
Yeah, it's true. True.
So I, going down the aisle, and I'm like going, where are the waffle makers? I need a waffle iron, and I came across this one, which was a brilliantly, priced, just work of art.
Less than $30.
Less than $20.
Well, there you go.
Because though they aren't paying for this spot, Faber knows what they're doing. So,
yes.
So Faberware knows how to give you a quality product at a decent price and make it look slick. And the big seller, it's not the fact that it's got the one flip, thing where you don't, it's very much reminiscent of the ones you'll see in a hotel lobby.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But it also has a drip plate.
Exactly.
But it also has a drip plate.
Yes.
And when I'm looking for a new piece of kitchen equipment, I want something that handles its own mess so that it's not all over my counter. So the drip plate was the selling point.
Well, I'm looking at it. It was amazingly simple to come out of the box.
Right.
It was very quick, very easy. Again, if anybody has ever made waffles at a hotel, it looks just like it, just slightly smaller.
Right.
The handle has a swivel.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of swivels out into place. It's an easy, simple lift up, and your waffle iron is exposed, complete with the waffling textures.
Right.
Closes, and it does the full rotation. So
at which point it
does both sides,
and then it has the ready light.
Yes.
So once you've got it over, and it is no longer sensing moisture. It says, "Hey, take this thing out before you burn it."
And here's the best part.
My college cafeteria needed that.
Oh my gosh. You cannot lift it in the inverse position.
Nope.
I'm loving that particular feature. So you have to spin it over.
Because honestly,
then it lifts straight out nice and easily.
When it comes down to cooking equipment, you can get stuff that'll do everything you need, but won't have the safety features you need so that you don't make the cooking faux pas of dropping it on the floor.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm remembering back of more decades ago than I want to confess, and go, no, really, yeah, oh, yeah.
The Wayback Machine invades all our shows.
Yes. Well, everything today came from somewhere.
True.
And I remember, these things dripping stuff all over the counter.
Right.
Flaming hot, waffle mix.
See, I used to have a big, quadrant waffle iron. So, 4 big chunks of waffle every time you made it. But it had no, it didn't even have a lip on the side. The stuff,
No.
the drippings just went everywhere. So I used to have to put it on top of a giant wooden cutting board, so that afterwards I could just scrape all that into the garbage and
Yep.
go about my day.
So basically, when it comes to cooking, we used to have to walk to school uphill both ways,
in
no
the
shoes,
snow.
in the snow. Yeah.
And now there's a limo that picks us up and takes us and says, "Would you like me to study for you?"
For the whole $20 that you spent for this,
Right.
that is absolutely phenomenal. And if you like waffles, if you know, and this is one of these ideal ideas for cooking today.
Yeah.
It's quick, it's simple, it's clean.
And it's safe enough that the kids can put their own little spin on it. So
above the right age,
right,
we're good to go.
yeah,
So
you still don't want a 3-year-old going, "I'm making waffles," because that's just going to be messy no matter what.
now, if your 5-year-old is over there going, "I'm making waffles with blueberries and cinnamon," you probably have a chef on your hands, and you need to start saving money for culinary school.
Yep.
So-
You can write to the Allan Gilbreth Culinary School at. I do want to take a moment though to add a little bit that caused giggles when we took this out of the package, and that was the fact that instead of that nice little clip that plastic cover that they've been putting on your plug, it had a zip tie through it.
It did.
Yeah.
It was not playing.
No.
It was like, you were going to pay attention to unpacking this, or you're not going to use it.
I get.
You're not going to use it.
I get the plastic cover. I know there have been times when I have pulled something out of a package, and because of however it was in storage, whatever, the end of the plug has a little crud on it, and when you plug that in, that's the last thing you want.
Right.
So the cover was great. This though, you're not going to have somebody who's absentmindedly going to plug in the plastic cover,
Ain't gonna.
which in some of these outlets that can happen.
Yeah. Well, ain't going with this one.
Nope.
All right. So the Waffle Maker has drastically improved.
Yes.
Making waffles at home. I cannot wait to fire this up. We're going to fire it up here in just a few minutes. So, all right. So then the next big thing is, of course, of some type of nonstick. And I'm looking at the inside of this, and of course it is Teflon. We already got Teflon coating, but we all know even Teflon can stick a little bit.
Yes.
So, oiling this thing up is a lot easier these days. There are numerous spray products that will, have a little flour, a little canola oil in them or whatever. Yeah. And so even oiling it up is safer.
True.
And cleaner than it was.
And one of the things you'll notice that when you are finding your little aerosol spray to oil this up, you'll come across things that'll say butter flavored. Do not get those. Do not go get the original non-flavored, non-stick oil, because once that flavor gets in there, it doesn't matter what you make; it's always going to taste off.
That's good advice.
Yep.
So again, go with the basics.
Yeah.
Because we're going to add flavor after it's cooked.
Absolutely.
And
Your waffle, while you can make it nice and flavorful, is but a canvas.
Exactly.
That was the most pretentious thing you've ever.
Exactly.
That was the most pretentious thing you've ever said, Claire.
I'm entitled to a bit here and there.
I agree.
She's eyeballing the big bag over here with like, what's in the bag, Allan?
Yeah.
There's good things in the bag.
There's blue things in the bag.
I have a spice cabinet would just, would scare most people. It doesn't scare you. You got the same size spice cabinet. So, all right. So a little bit more about actually the equipment to get us there. Now to do pancakes or crepes, we're looking for basically your small frying pan.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, for the average person, as much as I love my cast iron, I'm going to tell you, get something nonstick.
Yeah.
Get something easy to work with. Get something that doesn't have to be seasoned.
Yeah.
Because we're not cooking something long enough in this pan to impart. We're not cooking something long enough in this pan to impart any goodness to it. We're just here to basically cook a very thin batter.
Right. I'm a griddle guy. I've got a long electric griddle. It's
all right.
I can do 8-9 pancakes at once. Yeah.
She is so excited over there.
Obviously, breakfast food is the best food. So, I mean, hey.
It is honestly, it is the most fun.
Yeah.
Because, everybody's kind of waking up and getting there. And when you really start playing in the kitchen,
Yeah.
it fires up the day. It really
And there's
does.
something about a griddle that just makes everything taste better. I don't care if it's purely psychological.
No,
does.
No, it's
there's,
not.
There's that little
No.
bit of sizzle and the fact that you
Yeah.
can be cooking your sausage, bacon, pancakes, and eggs all on one
yes.
pallet. Yeah.
Yes. And you can share that bacon grease.
All that flavor.
Yep. For those of you
Sharing is caring.
For those of you that don't understand sharing the bacon grease, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. They've never been to a Waffle House.
Oh my gosh. So the equipment to make these things today is far more advanced, far easier. The spatulas are better, the coatings are better, the oils are better. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about batter and cooking. So this is the missed it. The topic is happiness.
Yes.
It is waffles, pancakes, and crepes. We spent the first segment talking all about just how much easier the equipment is now.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, I haven't bought a waffle iron in forever.
Right.
I'll be honest. I'm still the old stovetop with the inserts and the, really great ways to wind up with third-degree burns.
Well, see, the one I have at home is a standalone, but it also has the inserts, and then you can order other inserts so you can get a different, texture or
Patterns
whatnot.
and
It's
stuff,
like,
right.
Like a flat for your pancakes or, bubble waffle.
Yeah.
Which I'm always a little scared of those.
You know what? I'm going to look at this and go, you know what? Forget all of that.
Yeah.
Stick to the tried, the true, the basic. The fewer moving parts, the better.
Absolutely.
Less stuff to lose, easier to keep up with, and to be perfectly honest, at the price you paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes it a year or two and somebody drops it off the back of a camper, you really aren't out.
No, that's the great thing. And of course, based on the brand it is, I've had plenty of items from Fabric before, and they last as long as you don't do something stupid with them. Like I wonder what would happen if I plugged this in to the wrong outlet, kind of deal.
Yeah, you don't plug it in with the air conditioner.
I wonder what pancakes made underwater would taste like.
Oh, no.
Our signal.
All right, well, you know what? All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the food itself. It comes down to
the reason everybody's here. Batter.
It comes down to batter.
Hey, batter.
All right, I'm holding this up for Claire to show her how much we have to play with later.
I think that's an adorable bucket.
It is.
That's an adorable bucket.
It is. This is a repurposed bucket. A friend of mine gave me a batch of dill pickles a long time ago. And the bucket that they came in reminded me of a little paint bucket. It was so cute. I kept it. And it is now my batter bucket.
So this is literally just synergy and branding.
It is. It's the perfect little transport, and it will hold a lot of batter.
It's got a lot of batter in it.
Okay. We're going to drop another name simply because it is ubiquitous with pancakes.
Okay.
We're going to say the infamous Bisquick.
Right, because that's what they're there for.
It is of biscuits and pancakes. All right, the name of that product tells you that it has stuff in it.
Yes.
It already has the baking powder. It already has the additives, a little salt and all that kind of stuff.
What's great about it is,
and all that kind of stuff.
What's great about it is, you can have a from scratch recipe all day long, but nothing beats, a cup of Bisquick and your moistening agent.
Mm-hmm.
and this particular case, it is all right. Here's the recipe I'm going to give you today for making waffles, pancakes, or crepes.
Right.
It is just how loose do you want it. For waffles, you want a good tight texture. And what I mean by that is you're looking at it in the bowl and you lean the bowl and it takes it a moment or two to react.
Right.
I don't mean like it's a wad of dough.
Yeah.
It is moist. It is wet. It will move around, but this is viscous.
Yes. You do not want your waffles to be too watery because then they don't stay in the waffle iron.
Right. We want that nice thick texture.
Right.
I find that for pancakes, I want it to be just that next step down in thin. And then for crepes, you're really wondering if this stuff is going to firm up at all. So
I think I just figured out what my problem is with crepes.
Yeah, crepes have got to be thin. It's got to be a thin liquid. Crepe batter should remind you of evaporated milk.
Okay.
If it's see, as you look at this right here, the batter I have in front of me right now would be impossible to make crepes with.
Yes.
Now, if I added about a cup of water to this bucket and thinned it down, I can make crepes all day.
Okay.
So basically,
Well, there's not that much batter.
well,
You can make crepes for about 2 hours.
yeah, but you see, you guys, a lot of batter goes a long way with crepes. Now, I'm going to throw in another one.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're walking through your grocery store. Ladies and gentlemen, you're walking through your grocery store. You walk by that aisle where they have all of the foil packaging.
Okay.
This is the kind of the cheapy packaging, not the big pretty boxes, but they have all of the flavored muffins.
Yes.
Every single one of those can be a flavored waffle or pancake.
Okay.
Every single one of them. So if you like poppy seed, we're going poppy seed. If you like strawberry, we're going strawberry. If you like blueberry, we can go blueberry. Any
If you want
single
to be a
one
small
of
child
those.
and have sprinkles and chocolate chips, which I totally do.
Oh, yes.
Hey.
Have that too.
Funfetti cake mix makes an amazing waffle.
Yes, it does. This is where, guys, you can really play. Right. Now, if you've never done this before, there is a certain level of skill to this. So I always tell everybody, let's just start with the basics. Let's just go with a couple of cups of Bisquick. An egg, and enough water or milk, if you're going to be really fancy with it, to get it to a thick, viscous 10W30 motor oil-like consistency.
There you go.
I want something I can still pour, but I want something that's not going to gush out. I need a nice viscous finish.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going to throw in lumps are your friends.
Yes.
You do not have to beat the batter until it is utterly smooth. It can have a
That's not
few
great
little
for your
bumps here and
pancake.
there. Say what?
And in fact, that's not great for your pancake.
Yeah, well, you have kind of beat it to death at that point.
Yeah.
So we have the batter. We have the unit. We're ready to go. And again, you want to pour directly into the center so that it can spread out. When you close the lid, you flip it over. It's doing its own spout. When you close the lid, you flip it over. It's doing its own spreading.
Right.
And with the new lips and everything on these things, they look good. I'm not expecting, I really honestly don't. If your batter's thick enough, I think spillage should be at an absolute minimum.
In a situation with the newer waffle irons, if you have spillage, it is because you overfilled.
Yes. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you have a pre-flavored mix, use it exactly as is.
Right.
So don't try to pick the little strawberry pieces out or the little blueberry pieces. Just go with it. However it mixes up. I will tell you, however, a pre-flavored mix does have a tendency to become rather color consistent.
Yes.
So blueberry pancakes actually are kind of like bluey purple all the way through the pancake.
Right. The same with chocolate chips. Yeah.
Now, this pancake.
Right. The same with chocolate chips. Yeah.
Now, this is where I'm going to tell you, go over to the jam and jelly section of the grocery store. If you see a jam or jelly up there that you like, you have a waffle topping.
Yeah.
Pick it. Doesn't matter. Don't care what you like. If you like marmalade, it is a waffle topping. If you like whipped cream, it's a waffle topping. If you like chocolate syrup.
It's basically, if you are told, don't put that on your waffle, tell that person to go away. You don't need that negativity in your life. Anything can go on a waffle.
Preach.
I have even had You're gonna love this. One of my favorite waffles ever was cream cheese and lox.
Oh, dude, I'll do you one better. You ever have a savory waffle?
I have had savory waffles many times.
A little bit of Italian seasoning and Parmesan. And you can, it's almost like you've got your own, waffle to go with your, it's almost like you've got your own, waffle to go with your, pasta dish in that.
We actually made pepperoni waffles one time as a dare.
Which, is a great thing if you want to make pizza at home and you've got one of those little cheapo pizza mixes, cut the moisture in half and use that in your waffle iron.
Yeah. Guys,
I've done tater tots in a waffle iron, guys. You can use it for anything.
You're kind of catching on to the level of experimentation you can do with this. This is fun.
I think we just have to go on video and get like 5 or 6 of these,
we got to do this.
And just
Mad
do a whole
science
bunch of
with a
different
waffle
ones.
iron.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go back to that funfetti cake. Really, it's awesome. Sprinkles?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Got to put sprinkles in the batter. Drop that baby in there. Yeah. Boom.
And some homemade buttercream icing for your topping. Brilliant.
Well, that brought up the next topic because all of your cake.
Brilliant.
Well, that brought up the next topic because all of your cake icings. Guess what? Waffle toppings. You can actually set up, and I'm like, if you've got like the kids or the grandkids over for the weekend, you can set up the waffle buffet bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have all the freedom and sweet joy of a cake, but with none of like the health obligations that come with, oh, I have toast or an English muffin. I can't do anything silly with this. I mean, I could, but...
Well, you can, but it's a waffle.
Exactly.
We're opening up the fun.
Here. It is only freedom.
Well, even the absolute most boring standard waffle ever, which is just basically batter.
We call it the Thorderson.
Waffle. Batter, waffle, syrup. You can't miss.
And if you do, it's because you were too drunk and not paying attention.
Oh,
I'm saying.
Wow. Oh,
I'm saying. Wow. I have spent many a late night at IHOP.
Okay. Wow. And I'm here with Brandon and Claire, and we are just having a day of utter and complete happiness.
Absolutely. You can't even think about waffles and then still be angry.
No.
You're making me want waffles for dinner because, I might do it.
Well, I have plenty of batter.
There is nothing to stop you. And when I was telling a friend of mine, Christian Kane, I was telling him about the fact that we were going to do waffles, and he immediately goes, "So, like breakfast waffles or waffle sandwiches?" And all I could say was yes. Mm-hmm. Because there's an idea. There is no reason not to have waffles. Waffles can go with anything.
What was that chicken and waffles obsession that everybody had until like?
Well, everybody still has it.
No,
I feel like it's tapered slightly.
No, it's just the fact that it has become so commonplace, you don't hear about it as much because you don't have to go to anywhere specific to get it. You can get it pretty much anywhere now. Plus, we've all learned during the wonderful world of Pandemic Land, how to make it at home.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of these dishes were the result of the shifts coming on and going off at the factories. So your third shift was coming off, and they wanted dinner. But your first shift was coming in, and they wanted breakfast. So you round up with a lot of these collisions, and, we wound up with stuff like chicken and waffles. Because, you had chicken, you had a nice protein.
Right.
And here you had the waffle as the nice carb. So you had, the crew coming out was hungry and tired, and they wanted a protein, and they wanted something to fill them up. And the crew coming in was looking for breakfast. Yeah. So we wound up with a lot of collisions like this.
Plus, you're talking about 2 flavors that go great with honey butter.
Exactly. In the keeping with the theme today of just experimenting, anything that you can make with a cookie can be a pancake or a waffle.
Yes. But I want to ask you a quick question. And it's about crepes. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean,
we're going to get serious now.
All right, we're going to get serious because I want to learn how to do this.
Okay.
Because I've always screwed this up.
Okay.
But there's and Claire brought this up off air. You know, you can go get, you know, your nice, thin, easily foldable, very soft crepe. But I like the crispy edges. You know,
Right.
and I think that Claire is also a fan. So how do we get our crepes perfect, Allan, so that we can still do everything we need to do?
Here's where you're going to have to do a little experimenting, but you need a pan that you can crepe with. So I'm not talking about a big frying pan.
No.
I'm talking about one of the smaller ones. And I'm making the circle about the size of my little batter basket here or whatever. With those the small frying pans that look like they go on the small eye on the stove.
If you see them in a grocery store, it's usually a nonstick, what they call the 1 egg pan.
Yes.
Okay.
What you need is a pan the size of the crepe you want to make.
Okay.
And here's where it gets kind of fun. Because the whole idea behind a crepe is controlled heat. So you're not always going to have the pan sitting flat on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do is you're going to have your crepe, and I'm going to say your crepe shot. And this is where a shot glass or a deep measuring spoon or the little measuring cups come in handy. So you're going to have to experiment because you're going to have to match the crepe batter to the pan.
Okay.
But in this particular instance, I'm going to say the 1/3 cup measure. I'm going to say the 1/3 cup measure goes to the 6 to 7 inch pan. All right. So what we're going to do is you've seen your basting brush.
Yes.
The one with the little rag, the kind of the rag basting brush, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're not going to use it for barbecue sauce. We're going to have a little bowl of oil.
I was going to say, but that's the only reason I've got it.
No, you're about to have a whole new reason.
Okay.
Because you're going to get it just lightly oiled.
Okay.
And you're going to use that to oil your pan.
All right.
So now you have just a light coating. We started out with a warm pan. We got the pan up to heat first. Okay. And then we swabbed it like we were mopping the deck.
When you say warm, I mean you're talking middle eye or less.
I am talking about on the modern stove, we're somewhere towards the upper end of the medium setting.
Okay, so
the upper end of the medium setting.
Okay, so
and again, a little experimentation is going to be necessary.
So somewhere between 6 and 7 for those of us with the numbers.
6, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So 5, 6, 7, depending upon how efficient your stove is.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get our pan up to heat. Only takes a minute or two. And you're going to have your little brush. You're going to swab that so we don't have too much oil.
All right.
And now we're going to take our little measure, let's say 1/3 cup of crepe batter, which is going to be thinner. It's going to be that little bit thinner.
Right.
It's going to be runny. And we're going to pour that directly into the center of the pan. Now you're going to angle the pan around, and you're going to move the fluid all the way out around the bottom of the pan.
Okay.
Put the pan back down for a moment. And it's only going to take, you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you need one of the longer spatulas. Not the short one like you use for your eggs, but you've seen the ones that are kind of almost look like a floppy fin.
Yes.
The little longer ones. The longer ones work better because it supports that thinner that's thinner lattice. And you're going to come in from around the edge. Again, you're going to lift your pan up. You're going to come in around the edge. You're going to get it up underneath there, and you're going to flip your crepe over. Now, at this moment, you have happy soft crepe. Because when you flip it over, you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your crepe is done.
Okay.
Now, if you want it crispy, count to 10 again. And when you come out, the idea is now crepes are really designed to be filled. So you're going to need, if you got your strawberry jam or whatever it is you want to fill your crepe with.
Nutella and cream cheese.
And, well, I'll be honest, I prefer savory crepes, dinner crepes. Oh, my goodness. You haven't lived till you've had a taco crepe.
Chicken Florentine.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned the words beef stroganoff earlier, talking about something, a finely chopped or finely ground, really thickened, bloop, right down the center. Mashed potatoes and gravy. You can fill a crepe with anything. It is designed to be rolled up.
It's a bougie burrito.
Yes. It is. It is the high-end snooty burrito that wants to look down at you. And again, one of my favorite is anything you can find on the jam and jelly aisle is a dessert crepe.
So here's where we go. All right, now where do I go from crepes to blintzes?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. So
you knew the curve was coming.
Oh, I knew the curve was coming. So, all right, name me your favorite blintz.
Cinnamon apple.
Cinnamon apple. All right. Describe it for the audience.
Okay, so it's basically apple pie filling in a crepe with a little bit of like a sweet cream rolled and then sprinkled with powdered sugar. And
that's how you get to a blintz.
Boom.
How was that for easy?
It was super easy. I
was going to walk you through it. Going, come here. What can you top them with? Yes.
Everything.
Anything. Everything.
Anything as long as you're not a coward.
Well, and
I'm gonna stare away from the ghost peppers, but they do work.
Let's try for that very first attempt. Let's just have a little strawberry jam and some powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Rub a little strawberry and some powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Rub a little strawberry jam in the center of it. Roll that baby up. Dust it lightly with a little powdered sugar. You have the perfect, easy, simple dessert crepe. And this is where you get to lie to your family.
See,
because once you get this down,
right?
Because there is a skill involved. I am not going to lie. Some people, I know one or two people in this world that are never, ever going to cook a crepe. It's not going to happen.
Right.
They just do not have the knack. However, if you discover, hey, I got this, this was a lot easier than he made it sound.
Yeah.
You're going to be making crepes for everything. Because then you're going to be like, well, Allan makes little bitty crepes. Wait, I can make a full pan-sized crepe. Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can have that nice 9-inch frying pan and half a cup of batter, and you can make a crepe that you can roll an entire. You talked about burritos and enchiladas, and you want to put beef strips. You want to put. You can actually make pasta dishes or rice dishes to roll up inside of full-size crepes. And toss with insert sauce here of whether it's dessert, whether it's savory, whether it's dinner. It can be magic.
There's a recipe I've worked on since I was like young, and it basically is shredded chicken, cream cheese rolled up in a croissant roll. Now I want to try it with crepes.
You have to try it with crepes now.
I'm going to have to.
It is now a moral imperative.
Yeah.
You have to do this.
For science.
And Claire, because she wants one.
Apparently.
So as we torture Claire some more, all right, guys.
Who's torturing whom here, gentlemen?
Well,
we have all the stuff over here.
We have all the food in here, but we haven't been able to cook it yet. Come back in a minute, and we will cover a little more happiness with waffles, pancakes, and crepes. And today's topic is just basically happiness with a frying pan. Waffles, pancakes, and crepes.
Now,
and we're gonna dare to. We've already got. All right, we've pretty much covered waffles.
Right.
We kind of got waffles. What limitations do waffles have?
None.
Can you make a hamburger with a waffle?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Can you make a roast beef sandwich?
Absolutely.
Can you make a pizza?
Yep.
Yes, and it's actually shockingly good, which is just scary. What can you do with a crepe? It can roll up around anything.
Yeah.
Crepe sushi roll incoming.
Stranger things have been known to happen.
Indeed.
It can happen. So let's ease back into the tried and true and poor mundane abused pancake. Because the pancake, again, I'm going to point out, any flavored muffin mix or cake mix is pancake batter.
Yep.
It really is. So it's Saturday morning. The kids, the grandkids, the family's over. And you know what? When I say the kids, the grandkids, I don't care if they're our age.
Right.
Who is going to turn down funfetti pancakes with sprinkles?
Crazy anti-gluten people.
Nobody.
They make gluten-free mixes. You can get them.
You can get those. There is no reason not to enjoy this.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, well, I don't want all that sugar. You don't have to have sugar. You have an entire spice cabinet full of variations to play with. Is every single thing you're going to try to do work? Maybe not. But you know what?
I will say that everything you try will have there's somebody in this world that will have loved it. Somebody
will go, but that was the best part.
Right.
So let's get back to poor old pancakes. And let's talk about some of the variations. Because the crepe is the skilled, snooty French version.
Right.
Then we have one of my favorites, and I know it's one of yours. I'm gonna look Brandon dead in the eye and go the Johnny cake, the hoe cake,
just that nice balanced mixture.
It is basically half pancake batter, half cornbread batter,
and it's so good.
It's
you don't need anything else.
it is of I have found that just a little Johnny cake and the lightest dusting of just Creole seasoning.
Oh.
Just a little across there like you would salt and pepper. You will just sit there and eat those things for whatever reason. They're just an excuse. Then I will throw in that there are a number of restaurants up and down our highways that sell fried apples.
Yeah, but let's talk about these.
Oof.
Let's talk about these places. They don't understand this thing about portion control. So make sure that you go in with
How
your.
do you know they're the good places?
Make sure you go in with your A game and your elastic pants.
Oh yes, because you're gonna eat.
Yeah,
you're gonna eat. All right, now let's talk about the super thicks.
Okay, we've all seen it. The cake,
right.
The giant pancake that is like 4 inches thick. It jiggles just a little bit, so you worry that it might not be cooked all the way through, but it always ends up being amazing. Light, fluffy, insane. And I have no clue how to make it.
Okay.
I want this.
Here's the secret. Pour slowly.
Okay.
So, all right, let's go back to our 6-inch pan.
Yes.
So we have our little we're going to make a single pancake at a time pan.
Okay.
Get it warm. And again, this is where that basting brush comes in, because you don't want too much oil. You want just enough to get this thing to release.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody goes, well, I have nonstick.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. You still want a little bit of oil for a little touch of moisture. You don't have to have a lot.
I have managed to stick a pancake in a copper pan.
It can happen. It can happen. So we're going to just give that a little white. So, and of course it's going to beat up because the pan's already hot.
Right.
All right. This is where it's already hot.
Right.
All right. This is where you're going to reduce the heat a little bit. So instead of being in that medium category towards the high, we're going to go to that medium category towards the low.
Okay.
And when we pour the batter in, I'm going to start at the outside edge, and I'm going to pour my way into the middle.
What kind of sorcery is this, Allan?
It's what happens is you begin getting the spillover, but you also get the rising effect immediately from the outside edge.
Okay.
So with the crepe becoming thinner, we started in the center and wiped it out around the pan.
Right.
But what I want to do now is I want to get the rising effect started as early as possible because now I want the thicker, fatter pancake.
Right.
And it's going to rise.
Right.
And it's going to rise. But by turning the heat down just a little bit, we're not scorching.
Okay.
And what
Which
will
is
happen
good.
is it will give you a nice rim. That the little rim will hold in anything still liquid in the center when you get the spatula under it. And again, it's going to take a certain level of skill, but you are going to be able to lift the pancake up and get it flipped over without spraying everybody with batter. May take you a practice a time or two, but once you get the flip, and it's just, as they like to say in the movies, it's all in the wrist. You get the flip, boom, and again, a little bit lighter on the heat. Give it some time, and you can literally watch it rise up in the pan.
TIME, not THYME.
Yeah, no, we're not doing. Yeah, we're not doing Mediterranean flavored yet. Now,
Yeah.
we're not doing. Yeah, we're not doing Mediterranean flavored yet. Now,
Yes.
if you do want to add flavors to your pancake, again, any flavor is a good flavor.
Right.
But once you have the nice fat pancake handled, all right, the craziest thing I have seen done with one of those, with the 6-inch really fat pancake, is I had a crazy friend take
You crazy
that-
friend? No.
Yeah, no. Well, this is one of those wild dishes that, you look at one time and go, that was inspired. Took up the 6-inch pancakes.
Okay.
So you get a nice big fat 6-inch pancake. She made about 4 of those. Then she put up the 6-inch pan and got out the 9-inch pan.
Okay.
4 eggs scrambled and the sausage already pre-cooked, right? So she got the sausage warmed up over here. She takes the 6-inch pancake, puts it in the center of the 9-inch pan. The 6-inch pancake, puts it in the center of the 9-inch pan, tops it with the sausage, and pours the scrambled egg stuff around the edge.
Ooh.
And now you wait a couple of minutes, and the whole thing comes out as your scrambled egg ring around your pancake with your sausage as a topping at the top. It was, I got to tell you, it was inspired. So it's just such a happy topic. There's just nothing limiting your
Right.
imagination with these things.
Well, I now have challenges for people.
Oh my gosh, it is so much fun to play with these things. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. And if you like, and like Claire said, if you got somebody that's not a gluten person, guess what? There's gluten-free mixes. Guess what? There's gluten-free mixes. So this is literally that quick, easy, fast topic.
It's the year of our Lord 2021. We're including everybody.
Oh my goodness, yes. As we dive in, there's nothing that says you can't do this for dinner.
There's nothing that says you can't do this just because you're bored on an afternoon and are kind of hungry.
It's the inverse of my breakfast philosophy, which is every food is breakfast food if you eat it early enough. And the converse, every food is dinner if you eat it in the evening.
If you eat it, it depends on where you're supposed to be there. And breakfast for dinner is quite the amazing thing.
Yes.
It's the best.
And in the last second here, I'm going to throw in, if you really want to make the batter nice and really thick and you have a deep fat fryer, anything that is frozen and on a toothpick can now become batter fried.
Ooh.
Hot dogs, cheese sticks, anything.
You're
Snickers
making my
bars.
cholesterol go up just talking about it.
Just throwing out there that, just as that last little challenge to this, looking at it going, if you really sweeten that batter, it becomes a funnel cake.
Yes.
And the idea behind a funnel cake is you've got your grease and you're just pouring batter on top of it in a pattern. And then you dust it with a little, with a little of, actually whatever you want to top it with. But you can go in with the easy stuff and you can do the powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
sure it's cocaine, but they call it powdered sugar.
oh, you know,
Oh.
it's crack. It's so good. Of so a funnel cake is just kind of, you know, a deep fat fried pancake in a way. Fat fried pancake in a way.
And the thing about a funnel cake is if you get too close with the pattern you're trying to make, it just becomes an elephant ear.
Yeah, it does.
And then
And
you
it's
can
still
put
tasty.
anything inside there.
And then it's still tasty.
Yep.
So, welcome to the happiness that is waffles, pancakes, and crepes. And
Etc. Etc.
and again, this is one of those where I'm going to advocate take a little extra time and just have fun. There's really not a topic here off the table in this particular category.
Nope.
Of savory crepes, savory pancakes. You know what? Dinner can be served. Desserts made fancy and look snooty. It's amazing what you can do with a thin pancake and some strawberry jam and some whipped cream. Have a little fun. Use your imagination. Have a little fun. Use your imagination. That is what this particular topic is all about. Bring everybody together.